Hey, what's up, guys? We got the 2024 Ranger. I know you guys have been waiting to see this video, and I've been waiting to make it too, but I wanted to get a lot of stuff done to this first before we went and made the video. So this is going to be like an overview of all my add-ons that I put onto this truck and the prices, and I'll put the links in the description down below. So without further ado, here we go into looking at all the add-ons that I did. Okay, so the first things that I had to have was mud flaps because every truck needs mud flaps. I went with the factory Ford front and rear mud flaps. As you can see, the back ones say Ford in them, and I actually painted them silver to give them a little extra touch on them. They actually go up in the wheel well, like really good, and they use all factory holes. They come with all the new fasteners, as you can see here. They come up the sides really nice here. They're $87.50 for the back, $87.50 for the front, which isn't super badly priced. I thought it was awesome for a factory add-on. So here's the front mud flaps. They also come up really high, just like the back, all factory locations. I mean, they do flap a little bit here, but they protect the running boards, which these are factory. This came with a package with the running boards on it. The only other factory option was the Gator back mud flaps, and they were like $319 for like just two. So that wasn't going to be in question. So the next thing, my truck was actually supposed to come with this as a factory added option from the dealer, and it actually didn't, so I got them to take money off for it. But I had to have these once I seen them. They're actually the black stainless sill trim, and they say Ranger on the front. You get the whole pair, front and back, and we'll show you the back here real quick. The back's just kind of small and simple, which they still look cool because they're a black stainless, so they're not super shiny, like stick out. Hey, look at me. They were about $180 for all four of them. And then the next thing that I couldn't wait to do was the tint. So I got the tint on the front windows to match the rear. And then I got a brow also. So it's pretty much $60 a window. That was about $180 for two front windows and the brow. The guy did a great job. It was from the tint guy. He's a local guy. He came right to my work and did a whole bunch of vehicles all at once. He did a great job, kept everything clean, and did a nice job on the tint. So I can't complain there. So one more thing that I did right off the bat was I did the Ranger letters, and I wanted the Ranger letters because it's embossed in the tailgate and it looked really plain just being the color of the vehicle. So I was looking at several different colors. Nobody made them for the 24 yet. They made a bunch for the 23 and under to 19. I wasn't sure if they were the same size letters or whatever, so I had to wait a couple weeks until somebody on eBay came out with these for the 24 Ranger. They had a ton of colors to pick from. I was originally going to go with black and red, but red's too much for me. So my wife suggested, how about black and silver? So that's what we went with here. These are about $37 on eBay. They shipped within a week and they fit perfect. As you can see, they got the double-sided tape on there and they fit all the letters pretty well. One more cool thing that I had to have an add-on was an exhaust tip. The exhaust looked cool and it was kind of bland, but I wanted a tip. So what Ford does here is they screw you actually, because this exhaust tip, they flare it out at the end to like 3¼ inches if you measure it with a caliper. So a 3½ inch tip is actually too big and a 3-inch tip is too small. I had gotten a powder coated black MBRP tip that was a 3-inch, which was way too small. It wouldn't have worked at all. So I went with this just Amazon one. That's $27. It's a black chrome. It fits on there. It's 3½. I tried adapters and everything. We ended up just welding it on. It looks great. It's a 3 to 5-inch exhaust tip. It's about 18 inches long. It's tucked underneath here really good. Ford wants $130 to $160 for their tips, which I'm sure they fit great, but they like got you there because they know that no other tip is going to fit on this truck. So this is what we did. It looks great. It's tucked under there. It looks nice from the side, and it gives it a not, hey, look at me, look, and it kind of matches the rest of the truck with no chrome on it. I also wanted vent shades because they add a nice little touch. I like vent shades. So I got these are actually for the 23 Ranger because they do not make them yet for the 24s. These are from AVS, which is a known company. These are actually the low profile ones. On the outside, they have in-channel ones, but I wasn't really a fan of those, and I made them fit nice against each door here. The back fits great. The front is a little bit, as you can see, but I can live with that. You could have moved it forward on the door. If you look back here, you could have definitely moved it forward and been okay, because there's plenty of room because the window doesn't start till here. But I wanted it to look nice up here because most people aren't going to notice this behind the mirror. They're about 120 bucks on Amazon, and I couldn't pass it up. So everybody wants the Ranger Raptor. That's like the huge hype. They make everything for the Ranger Raptor already, and not the regular Rangers, the lower models like the XLT, the Lariat, all that stuff. So they finally came out. I got it on realtruck.com. They came out with super lifts, 2.5-inch leveling kit that I installed here. I actually had a couple friends help me. They had a lift and we put it on. It made it great. Being a brand new truck, everything come apart great, went back together. And so I got about $250 in this kit because it comes with shorter, like heavier duty sway bar end links that are greasable. That's awesome too. And it gives it a good look. However, I do have to say that on one website it said it was 2.5 inches. With the same part number on another website, it only said it was a 2-inch leveling kit. So that's almost debatable. It gives the truck a nice look. It definitely looks better. The running boards sit level now. And I also had to get an alignment done. And I just had it done at the local Ford garage up in Grove City. And that was about 150 bucks too. And it was really off of alignment. So I'd rather save, spend $150 rather than like chew these new tires up. I mean, I want to get new tires eventually, but just run these ones for now. So as you can see, there's like a grease fitting on the sway bar end links, and they're heavier duty than the ones I took off of them, and they're also shorter, which is kind of nice that you can grease them. So a quick thing that I did, like just to kind of give it something different, the Lariats have a little painted trim here on the fender badge. So I took them both out, and I added a little bit of silver accent. I just hand painted it. It just adds a little touch. I know it doesn't look the best, but it's good enough for me. I taped it off, and it's textured plastic. It gives it a little bit extra pop, but not too much, because it's literally the only chrome on the truck is on this fender badge. So the last thing I just added last Friday, and I've been wanting these. I've been kicking around whether to get WeatherTech, which WeatherTech doesn't even make floor liners for the 24 yet or not. I don't know if the 23 will fit, but I've heard mixed reviews about the new WeatherTechs, how the quality has gone downhill. So I just went with the Ford factory fitted all-weather floor mats, and they're really nice. They say Ranger right in them, in the front ones, and they're just a little bit dirty, but they fit like so nice. They're like nice fit, contoured, and like they come with the front too. Of course, the driver's side clips in, and then the back is a 2-piece design, and like it even goes clean under the seat up there and wraps around here really nice. Like everything fits really nice, and those are about $197 from the dealer, which so $197 is a lot cheaper than the WeatherTech ones because they're over $200. So you can't really go wrong there, and they're factory. So these are all the stuff that I did to it, and I obviously have a list of stuff I still want to do to it. So I'll just read off my list here that I have wrote down just to give you correct information. So you can get a blow-off valve from Boomba. It's a blow-off spacer plate that goes in between the factory blow-off valve, and you can take different screws out for different sound settings. And it's about $90, but nobody makes a cold air intake for this yet, and you would get the same result as a blow-off valve from a cold air intake, but you'd also get a little more performance out of the cold air intake. So I'd rather spend the $300 on an intake rather than, spend $90 now on a blow-off valve. But nobody makes an intake yet. S&B is the only one that's about to make one. It says it'll ship early 2025, but we'll see how true that is. The next thing I kind of want to do is an exhaust with a catless downpipe, because I had one on my Focus, and I think that just improves everything, because all these newer cars, all the cats always plug up on them because we're running crappy gas and stuff, and like it's a turboed engine, so you want it to be as free flowing as possible anyhow. Maybe do an exhaust with the muffler, maybe just take the muffler off. I don't know yet. It's up in the air, because an exhaust kit for this is like almost $1,000, which is kind of crazy. It's a mid-sized truck. The next, I definitely want to do some wheels. and tires. I don't know what wheels or tires yet. I don't think I want to go as big as a 33. That's kind of a lot for this little, it's a little truck. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still kind of big, but 33s is a little bit big for this, you know, setup with a 4-cylinder in it. The wheels, I want a little bit more offset out of them just so it has a little bit more, you know, look to it rather than these skinny, narrow, tucked in ones. I mean, don't get me wrong, the factory Ford wheels look really nice. The Lariat ones I wasn't really a fan of because they have a machined accent in them and they're black, but the shape of them wasn't really for me. And I'd like to do more lights somewhere. Maybe like green lights in the grill, how I had them in my Focus or my other truck. Something like that. We'll see. Maybe get under the tailgate lights. I haven't really decided yet because it's a smaller truck. Most of those come in 60-inch strips. I know you can cut them down, but I'm not sure. Or maybe like a fog light. I know they make a couple companies make a daytime running light accent for your fog light. I might get that. I don't know. They make cool DRL grills too, the daytime running light grills. Not sure, just throwing around ideas. I might take my mirror covers off and have them color match like on the Lariat package. They have painted mirror to match mirror caps and door handles on them. But I might just do the mirror cap for now, just paint to match. And then of course the Lariats have the turn signal in the mirror too, and the spotlight and a front camera, all that fancy stuff, you know, but they're like ridiculous more money. I don't know if I want to run a tonneau cover or not. I have it on here, or a back rack. I don't know. Like you see all these trucks, they're like more popular in like Australia and stuff, and they do all this crazy stuff, and they have more packages over there like the Wild Track and stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, this is, you know, America, so we'll see about that. So, and then the last, like a couple of the last things is if you obviously get the FX4 package, it's like a $1,500 extra option. And obviously this doesn't have it. It's a sport package. You get a full skid plates underneath. You get front skid plates, and then you get an oil pan transfer case skid plate. You do not get a fuel tank skid plate. It's just a factory plastic one like this one has. So an aftermarket company called Rival, you can get skid plates. They start at just one of them's like $250, and I think that's the front one because it actually eliminates the FX4 package, eliminates this air dam on here, which this air dam's made into the bottom of the bumper. So if you want to take this off of your XLT, you're going to be cutting it off because it's actually made onto the bottom of the bumper piece. So, I mean, it does look crappy, and the FX4 packages do not have this because it goes right into the skid plate. So that's a question mark. And that's about it. I mean, that's the kind of the gist of the whole thing. I mean, there's lots to come still. This is what I've already done to it, and I really like how it's turning out. It's kind of cool that you get to buy a brand new truck and add all this stuff to it off the bat, and it's still new to take apart, easy stuff that's not all rusted, and make it how you want it because it's only yours. So I know there's been a lot of Ranger videos, but I wanted to make my own, and there's going to be another video coming of all the specs and features on this exact truck with the packages it has. So I hope you like this video. The links are all in the description for all the products that I've put on this. So give it a like, subscribe, and give it a comment. See if you want to see more about it, and or like more posts or whatever, and see what else I do to it or ask questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks guys for watching.
Yeah.